This is a message to you, our most loyal listeners. We will be offering special Tel Aviv Review episodes, usually with a stronger connection to the current news cycle, episodes that are exclusive to Patreon subscribers. Without the ongoing support of our patrons, many of whom really have been with us for months and years, we simply would not be able to sustain the podcast. All patrons will have access to these special episodes, and they can be set up to show directly in Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Support the show by becoming a patron at Patreon. That's patreon.com/Tel Aviv Review, all in one word.
This is TLV1.
The Tel Aviv Review.
Hello and welcome to the Tel Aviv Review. I'm your host, Gilad Halpern. This is an extra episode, especially for you, our loyal subscribers on Patreon. And as always, we cannot thank you enough. A year into Donald Trump's second term in the White House, these are uncertain times for America at home and internationally. When it comes to foreign policy in the Middle East, continuity and rupture seem to be embroiled in an odd mix. My guest today is a former Israeli diplomat, most notably Consul-General in New York in the early 2000s, and a prolific commentator on American affairs and US-Israeli relations. Alon Pinkas, hello and welcome to the Tel Aviv Review.
Thank you. Good to be with you, Gilad.
So the main response to the threat of populism is that their mess will be fairly easy to clear up. Populist leaders are not serious people, neither thorough nor methodical, and therefore their damage would likely not be long-lasting. Looking at all aspects of Donald Trump's presidency, to what extent do you think this reassuring message applies? Or rather, has he changed the American DNA for good?
Well, to begin with, I question the premise of the that this is going to be easy to do, that they can be cleaned up, that a country, a society, a political system, a political discourse can revert to a previous state. It'll take us 50 years to give an intelligent answer whether that is possible or not. Not many countries have succeeded in doing so. I mean, yeah, you have some examples, Brazil, Poland, but you also have, this kind of assumption was the prevailing and conventional wisdom in Germany in the 1930s. And in Italy in the 1930s, that this is all going to go away. They're a bunch of clowns. They're just airing grievances. It'll all pass. There are real frustrations. There are economic anxieties, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The opera still works. The cafes are open. People are allowed to express their opinions. Okay, and that didn't happen. Now, America is not Germany, and America is not Italy, and America is not any other populist country. Conceivably, yes, because Trump is a one-man phenomenon. That's one way of looking at it. And whatever mess he's creating, a different president would fix gradually, because it goes deep now as opposed to his first term. On the other hand, and that's the second perspective from which you can look at it, I don't know necessarily that a Democrat is going to be elected in 2028. So what you may see in 2028 is a continuation of this Trumpist MAGA revolution, the Second American Revolution, completely changing the dynamics and the profile and the basic tenets of what makes America.
Can you go deeper into that? What do you think are the main or the most alarming changes that he's introducing?
Well, yeah, and that leads me to the second thing,
Sorry.
and that is that Trump did not invent all this. He took advantage of it. He exploited it. He abused it. He accelerated it. But the strains existed in American society: racism, white supremacy, complete and comprehensive distrust in government, frustration with the political classes, counterculture, communities that feel left behind. And they all coalesced around him, and he took advantage of it, and he fanned the flames. Now, what has he done, as you correctly asked? First, he changed completely the role of the president. Now, I'm not saying this is a permanent thing, but he took, he turned the executive into a semi-authoritarian, semi-autocratic thing. And there's a reason why the mass demonstrations in the U.S. a month ago were under the slogan "No Kings," because this runs contrary to the American Revolution. It runs contrary to the core value of the American Revolution. It's utterly against the American psyche, and I think there's a majority in America that believe that. On the other hand, he's still, he's the least popular president in modern history, but he's still around 40% popularity. And that tells you something. He's, moving between 37 and 41 or something like that, depending on the poll that you look at, the survey that you look at. So he changed the federal government. He turned America into a much more oligarchic place. Now we call it, the tech giants and the tech fascists and the tech billionaires, call them what you want. But he's allowed them access to turn America not into a meritocracy, but into an oligarchy. The pay to play has.
I've got to jump in and push back on that.
Yep.
Some people would say, with a certain degree of justice, that America was always veering between meritocracy and oligarchy to a much larger extent after the 1980s.
Oh, absolutely.
So you used that word earlier, accelerated. And I wonder, to what extent is he really taking principles or tenets of the American existence and just putting them, as it were, to bad use?
That's exactly what he's doing, and you're absolutely right. And I said, these trains always existed in America, and you go back to the era of the rubber barons in the late 19th century and early 20th century, and America was always a plutocracy, so to speak. America always idolized and worshipped money and success, but America was also was at the same time open to everyone. And what he's doing is he's weaponized the federal government in a way that no president has done before. Now, he's very sloppy. He's very bad at what he's doing. It's not working very well, but he also resorts to violence, state violence, ICE.